Hey, Tomek, how did you make your last illustration? Said no one ever. But still, I'm gonna take you through my drawing process and animating process, and I'm gonna show you how I did my last animated illustration. I wanted to keep the original look of the scene, so I didn't rearrange almost any of the items, which made the sketch super easy. I basically copied almost everything as it was. I started by doing a linear sketch because I wanted to plan the composition, plan the flow, the movement of the eye of the viewer, and check if everything is cropped good and the composition works on the linear stage. And when I make sure that everything looks pretty good, I've moved into designing my values. The main idea was to capture the strong morning light hitting the wall on the left. I wanted to make it vibrant, make it vivid, make it good looking. And the second idea was to keep the porcelain doll readable and clearly separated from the background. After double checking, I'm happy with the value design. I've moved into designing the color palette, and I used two different methods that really helped me with this part of the process, using color maps and bashing my own artworks. And the second thing is particularly interesting, I think, and as you can see, it really helps a lot. When you look at the image right now, you can see it gains a lot of nice colors. For example, the figure has some interesting color notes right now. You can see these greenish, bluish and grayish tones. And I think it really makes the image vibrant, and it's sometimes hard to come up with this color palette by yourself. And this trick is something that really gets the job done, so you should try it if you haven't yet. As you can see, in my process I kinda switch between organic and more graphic approach, and I go back and forth. Sometimes I put some graphic strokes with my bold, hard brushes, and then I use this mixer brush to soften it a little bit, and then some airbrush again to make it even more softer, because that's the way I like to work, pushing something and now going back and finding the balance. Everything is about balance, and when you have the balance, you will achieve harmony, which is obviously always welcome. Okay, now pretty much everything is established and it's rendering time. And I probably make it at least 2 times faster for you, because it's nothing exciting about this part. It's all about being slow and precise and rendering all these leather straps one by one. For me it was pretty relaxing though. But anyway, I'll leave you for a while with the ambient music and let you enjoy the process without me talking non-stop. Rendering porcelain figure was quite a challenge. I want to make the figure feel realistic, but I didn't want to over-render it. My technique here was using hard round brush on the layer with about 80% opacity. It's probably the simplest way to achieve some kind of marker-like effect. And when it comes to traditional media, I love working with markers. Okay, final touches. Polishing here and there, using the same piece as before for bashing and adding even more color variety and some kind of glass reflection effect. I hope you know what I mean. And suddenly, boom! We're not over yet. Remember when I told you it's going to be animated? So now it's the time for the fun part. I decrease the opacity of the whole piece and start sketching simple frame-by-frame animation. By the way, I like how Procreate leaves this onion skinning effect, so you can see what I saw when I was drawing my frames. When I was happy with the timing and I filled every frame with the color, I could render my pendulum with more care. And I also added animated shadow on the wall, which is probably my favorite detail here in the whole piece. It's really so satisfying for me. Now we are slowly approaching the end of this video. I'm adding last details to the figures and last fixes to the background, and after that I'm finally done. That's all I wanted to show you today, so thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and here's the result.